Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! Brought to you by Ringside, the best in boxing. It's the Zapata Brand Boxing Podcast. Introducing first, fighting out of the Zapata Brand Studio in Berwick, Pennsylvania. He is an expert in boxing and bagels, George Zapata!
Hey guys, welcome to the Zapata Brand Boxing Podcast. Today brought to you by Ringside. Go to ringside.com/podcast and you too could get upwards of 40% off selected brands. Well, guys, I'm back. Long vacation out to Vegas this weekend. I'm gone about 10 days. And going away for 10 days is not my idea of fun, to be honest with you. A lot of people like going out there. I don't, particularly because it's just I'm away from the business. I don't. People who know me know I don't like to be away from the business. I mean, I just don't. There's so many things that can go wrong running a business, whether it's small business, large business. There's so many things. But I will say, getting there on the plane and stuff. Once I got there, I would say probably the greatest run I've had on a vacation, as you could tell by the thumbnail, the greatest run I've had in the casino, greatest run I've had with meeting people and just having the opportunity to meet the people I did was tremendous. But the coming home is, here's what we're going to do first. We're going to get into my vacation first. Okay. Getting there. Obviously, people who know me, they know me. I'm very simple. I had a duffel bag. That's all I bring. Put it on, and that's going for a week. I roll my clothes up, stick them in. I have a toiletry bag. I stick it in. Very tight. It's in my boxing bag that I use for all my boxing equipment. So it has compact stuff, side pouches that you could put different things in. I brought my phone. I bought my Rode cordless mics, which I did a small video and put it out there. We did one with Greg. He had the unlucky spinning of the machines, the slot machines. It wasn't good. Greg lost $100 pretty quickly, but we still gave that back to Greg for the vacation fund. And then I did a small little video about what was going on. Getting there, though, it is just, these airlines have zero accountability for anything. Zero. They're funded by the government, and anything the government touches is a total disaster. The FFA is a company. They can't get it right. How is it that UPS and FedEx make billions of dollars? The U.S. mail does essentially the same thing. And they lose money every year. They're in the red every year. Okay? They don't know how to run a business. They run it to create jobs that aren't existing. They create pensions that are unaffordable and unobtainable. And they provide benefits, although I'm all for that stuff. It's unobtainable. You cannot keep doing it. It's not a sustainable business. I said obtainable, it should be sustainable. It is not. You can't do that. You cannot run a business the way the government runs their business. Okay, that's number one. Number two, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Not a single person cares. Because once they're done, they're done. They do their job and that's it. And there's nothing you can do. It's like you have no control. And if you lose out, you don't have any leg to stand on. Period. because there's so many rules and regulations that they can skirt around and do whatever. I'm not an attorney, so I'm not saying there's a girl on the internet that does show you how to get around that stuff. I don't got time for that shit. Okay, so let's go back. So going there, I check in using the app that they give us that you check in your bags in and whatever, which by the way is way overpriced. Way overpriced. So we get in there, we are in the airport. Then you got to go through TSA. The line, it was almost like a Christmas Story. When the guy walked up, Ralphie walks up and sees the line there, you're like, oh wow, you get in and you have that guy say, hey, this line starts back there. It literally was down the hall all the way, and we had about an hour to get on the plane. They move them through slow. Just let's think about this for 1 second too, by the way. We literally have to take off our shoes to go through an airport. We have to take off our shoes. I've never in my life thought we'd be at this point. And we're there. We're here. We're taking off our shoes. They have eye recognition now that you can opt out, but the way they say it, it doesn't say it. There's a little sign there that says you can opt out. But you don't. I did it after I saw it after I had already committed to it. It's very strange. They wanted to read your retinas. Very strange. A lot of funny stuff going on here that I don't know where this is going. So we get to Vegas. I land there, and the place that I stay always at the Grand View. It's a place there that we've been going for years. About 4 years. Michelle's been going there for 4. I've been going there for 3 with my boys. This year we didn't take our boys. We met her boys down there, but her one boy does live there. But we didn't bring our boys because they were going with their mother on a different vacation, which next year we're going to flip-flop somehow and get them so that they can go, because Vegas is always a good trip for us. Always a good trip because we meet a lot of fighters and a lot of personalities there. So we get to the Grand View. Everything seems to be going well. The day my stepson's supposed to come in, we just wanted to make sure, because we like adjoining rooms. That way we keep the door open. They can just go back and forth. We blocked it out. We offered to pay. They said, no. We just wait till your trip's over. And then wait till he gets there. That's what they said. Wait till he gets there. We'll bring him in, but we'll block it off so no one can live by you. And then we'll just pay them. No problem. And we've been going there for years. So it was never been an issue. We go up, and initially, there was a water bottle on the floor, a couple water bottles. Looked a little, like no one had been up here cleaning a little. But I didn't say anything. I never say anything. I just thought it was, okay, so there was an oversight. There are like 10 buildings here at this place. So we moved in. Now, first night I get there, and we go down to South Point, which is the casino we gamble at. When we go, it's right there, connected, right across the street. I go there, and first night, I bring $500, and I get my stuff to play. Starts rolling a little bit, things start going well. Then I put max bet of $50 on number 27, which is my son's birthday. It hits the first time. It's, I believe 14 or 1750, right around there. It's right around there. Yeah, it's 1750, I believe. 1750, I believe. So after I hit 1750, I kept it on there. It says max bet $50. When normally it's 100, and I would go to 100. Came back, hits again, 27. This never happens. Okay, so now there's another 1750 on top, max bet. Right before the guy spins the ball, he said, I asked, have you ever hit it 3 in a row? He says, nope, never have. Name was Jay. Spins it. Bing. 27. 3 in a row. 1750 each time I got hit. Boom. Cash out. I $4,000 something dollars, right? I'm like, wow. So I've essentially just paid for the vacation at this point. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy crap, I'm way ahead now. So that's how this day goes. 2 days later, Kevin Iole, my good friend, calls me, says, "Hey, let's go do lunch. But I want to take you to UFC headquarters." So I said, "Cool, we'll go there. We'll see." Now I thought Dana was in Abu Dhabi. Excuse me, because that was the fight was that weekend, and I thought maybe he'd be up there. It wasn't a huge fight, but I thought he'd be there. We get there. Mark Ratner greets us. Tremendous guy, Mark. I've known Mark. Well, I've watched Mark for years. He's since he's with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Then he moved on to his position at UFC, and he will be coming on the podcast shortly. And when I did that, and I see the facility, it is incredible. This facility is impeccably clean. It is impeccable. The culture there. And so in the middle of this, Dana texts Kevin and says, "Hey, I'm here. Come up to the war room." Which, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. So as you could see in the thumbnail, I'm going to tell you what Dana White really is like. So I go there, and he was in a meeting. He was actually in a meeting with two kids. They were younger and doing something on a laptop, and he was watching them do things. And we knock on the door. He says he comes out and says, "Hey, come on in," or whatever. And we talked a little bit, and we're talking about, and you really don't know how to approach it because you don't know what it's going to be like. I thought it was going to be, "Hey, come on, I'll give you a picture of George. Nice to meet you." And that was it. So he turns to the people that he's meeting. I was like, "Hey guys, we'll do this meeting later. I'm going to meet with these guys." So initially I was like, wow. Took me back a little bit because I just thought I was going to get a picture. Just talking for a second and say, "Hey, I met Dana White." Well, we go out, and he comes out in the hallway, and Mark starts talking to Kevin. They're good friends. They've been friends for years. So Dana turns to me and says, "Hey, George, come with me. I want to show you some stuff." Takes us to this room where he only has his fingerprint. It's the only thing I can go there. So he does it. Boom, off to this room. His own private gym. In there is his kid Aiden working out. And he's there doing his workout, comes up to me, says, "Hi, nice to meet you." Very, very well. And there's the difference there. What you can tell. There's a guy who is probably as close to a billionaire as you can get without actually being one. And the way he acted, his children acted. They were not spoiled at all. They came up to me, introduced themselves, said, "How are you?" What have you. That was his first son, Aiden. And then we were talking a little bit about football and what have you. And then he was telling what he did in football, and we moved on. Moved to now what his routine is every morning. He showed me where he gets on an alkaline bed. Then he showed me his plunge and sauna. And then he showed me his kitchen, and he showed me his guns that he had he has one from Kid Rock, someone from another one has a guitar signed by everyone from Led Zeppelin. Just so many things that he has, and this is his own private stuff. He has his bar there with the bartender that's there, the kitchen staff. It is incredible to see this facility the way it's run. Now, here's what my takeaway from this. As we were walking through, he said hello to everybody, from the person who was mopping the floor to the person who was taking out the trash to the executives in the office. Said hello to everybody and everybody that was walking by. Always smile. "Hey, how you doing? Good to see you." That's it. "Anything I can do for you?" That's another thing he said. We met his son there, Dana. His other son, Dana, was there. He was working on some stuff for anime that he's working on. And that's when our conversation switched to, how do you handle the success level that you're at, and how do your kids, like where's the line you draw with what you can give your kids and what you can't give your kids? And he opened my eyes on a lot of things, and his kids are all working there. His kids are working, they're doing whatever. We're not giving them anything. His one kid even went to get a job at In-N-Out Burger because Dana said, "Hey, these guys do it the best. Go look at them, try to get some stuff from them." And it was amazing that I thought, holy crap, this guy can give these kids anything they want, the life they live. And he said it pretty prominently. He said, "This is going to be all theirs anyway." you know, he dies, it goes to them. If they don't know how to run it, these doors shut. If they don't know how to do stuff in life, money runs out eventually. There's never really generational wealth that goes on. If you look at the past years in history, go in history, there's never generational health that lasts, generational wealth that lasts unbelievably long. So that was something that impressed me too. The other thing that really impressed me is he knew my name and remembered my name. When he spoke to me, he said, "Well, George, listen. Well, George, this is what I would do." And he looked me in the eyes. We talked about business and and health. He says that's got to be an important part of your routine is your health. Something now that I've really going to look at into doing. I know my injuries they keep me from a lot of things, but even light bands. He said, he goes, I don't do heavyweight. I do light band work. That's it. So that kind of showed me an insight of what the life is with that. Excuse me. So we did go there, and then he went to all different places, showed me everything he's got, every room that was in that facility. That's his rooms. Those are his private rooms. And then we came out. It was like coming out of the haunted house because Kevin was like, "Where'd you guys go?" And you know, he just said, "Oh, I wanted to show him stuff like that." And Kevin was like, "You don't even take me back there." So that made me feel like, wow, this is a guy. And he talked to me like a regular guy, like a regular guy. It wasn't like some guy. I mean, he has colorful language, but he was telling me about business, his life, what he does, and why he does it, and how passionate he is. And he said, I'm an all-in guy. I'm an all-in guy. I'm the most all-in guy you'll ever meet. And at my stage of my life, I don't know if I'm an all-in guy. I've done this here 27 years, so it's a whole different level, whole different level. As I was going after this ended, me and Ken were going to get lunch, and he says, "Hey, the casino we just bought this Irv Burgers. It's right down. Him and his partners have bought this Irv Burgers. It's right down the street." He said, "It's fantastic. It's awesome," and that's where because we're talking about bagels. He's like, that stuff can be duplicated. You can do that. And he was giving me tips and pointers on how to do it. Some of the stuff I want to implement here now. So we go. So we go down there to Durango Casino. It's a station casino down there. We go there, and I kid you not, I went to the roulette wheel, ended up walking out with $5,160. So you combine that with the 4,700 I won, I'm in the 10,000 range, and it was the greatest one I've ever had. Now, we had a great vacation. Me and Kevin went out a few times, had dinner, had lunch, and again, Kevin just a great guy to deal with. Always positive, always has stuff, always has a bunch of stories that you want to listen to. Him and Mark Ratner really filled me in on some of the stuff that goes on. And it was good to finally meet them in person. I hadn't got them in person yet. So now we're on our way home. This is where it gets absolutely insane. And this is my rant here. So it started with the Grand View. They didn't have the room set for our stepson, my stepson, so our son, which perturbed me a little bit because we had ready to block it off and what have you. They didn't have it. Okay. He shows up. They don't have it ready for him. Now, someone had moved in there when they told us it would be blocked off. We went down to speak with one of the managers, who was the manager on charge during the day, which you think you'd have your best manager on for that day. Well, this guy just was like, immediately shut me down. So when nobody's moving, you're going to move. I'm like, I'm not moving anywhere. At this point, I'm like, I'm not moving anywhere. So it became a battle. And we had to go to the general manager. And it was a constant thing. And we've never had these issues before. Then he told us the whole place was sold out, which it's not. It was not, which we confirmed with the real general manager there, Joe Gonzalez. And he was very good with us when we met him. But however, the experience we had, how we were treated, I don't think we're going to go back. Now, Joe is very good. Joe Gonzalez is very good. And the other guy they had there, very good. The first manager they had should not be a manager. Shouldn't be a manager. And I know we're getting off topic here with the boxing, but as we expand here, we have a couple people coming on about business, and that'd be something that this topic is going to come up a lot. These guys treated us so bad at the Grandview that we'll never go back. Joe Gonzalez is very good. The night manager was very good. Whoever this guy was, who was the manager during the day where I think you should have your strongest management, was terrible. He made us feel unwelcome. He made us feel like we were a burden on them and that we, as he said, are costing them money. Well, $1,500 for a week there is when you go every year, that's a pretty good chunk of change. Never mind the money I spend at the hotel, at the casino, and everything else. And again, I'm not taking this as I've never done anything wrong. But I can tell you this one thing. I've never said to a customer what they said to me, that you're costing me money, or, and came at me immediately. You handle it differently. It's how you get talked to. If he would have came out to me and said, oh man, that was our fault. We messed up. Unfortunately, you can't have that because we just don't move people. But we're going to make it up to you. Whether it's, hey, have a night on us, a dinner on us, or whatever, I'd accept that. I'd accept it because you know what? Mistakes happen. I'm in the business of hospitality. However, they didn't. And it was not acceptable. Not acceptable at all. And we have a lot of clients that watch our show here, and they watch it. Vegas is the boxing capital of the world, and they are here. They will watch it. They are going to see this, and it is not something that I think the Grandview would be happy about. And even when I warned that guy, I said, buddy, we have a lot of subscribers that come from this area. He didn't care. He said, so what? So maybe, just maybe, when I tag them in this, maybe you will care. I don't know. But it was a very poor experience there. But it got worse. As we go to this airport, let me tell you something. Like I said in the monologue there in the beginning, airports are the worst. Traveling is horrible. So once we get there, I knew something was up when the guy was coming in and said, hey, the agents are going to have a field day with this plane ride. That's not the kind of something you want to hear. That's something I wanted to hear when I first got in there. So we go there and we all sit down. The whole plane's full. So we get, this is your captain speaking. We need 24 volunteers to come out of this plane because we're too heavy. That didn't sit well with me. So that's the first obstacle. We got to get 24 volunteers to get off the plane of a 5-hour flight. Well, that wasn't going to happen. So it comes back on. This is the captain speaking again. We were offering $1,100 vouchers. I thought, okay, I'm going to get off. Me, Michelle, and the two boys. The two boys weren't even counted in yet because they had stopped boarding. Okay, so here we go. So we do that, and now some people start coming off. Now, mind you, they said we just needed 24 people off. That's it. And then we're good to go. So we're mid ride up there. Things seem to be okay. And the captain comes on and says, we don't have enough gas to get to Philadelphia. We're going to make a landing in Pittsburgh. However, the problem with that was once he touched ground, he timed out as a pilot, and there are no pilots now. So now, not only are we stuck in Pittsburgh, not only are we stuck there, that we had to land because we had no gas. We had no fuel. We don't have enough fuel to make it. So they're going to reload. We don't have a pilot. Why wouldn't they have just fueled up when they took 24 people off the plane? Fuel up there. Obviously, it's because they have to circle around. I get that. But Pittsburgh or Philadelphia was grounded. We're in Pittsburgh. Okay. Now, on top of this, they find a pilot who comes in. So we're in Pittsburgh, find a pilot. Everything seems fantastic. The problem is he timed out in an hour, and Philadelphia had yet to lift the ban. So the clock is ticking, and he says, I got to get off the ground. We try to get off the ground. We did. We make it home. We've landed Philly. The chaos begins because people were missing connecting flights. Some lady from the back comes plowing through the front after he told everybody to sit down. You know, these people are just unbelievable on planes. That's why I do not like flying. There's zero respect for anybody. Plowing through people, you know, older, younger, it doesn't matter. They go right through. It's terrible, horrible people. They can't follow instructions. Honestly, there's got to be someone taking charge on some of these planes. Someone has to take charge and say, if you do not cooperate with this, you are not flying. Period. Throw them off. Get them off the plane. Everybody wants to get to this place. The girl who did that, she was going to Copenhagen. She didn't even make the connecting flight. So there's all this crap. She had like 12 minutes to go from Gate C all the way to Copenhagen on the other side of the international airport. She wasn't going to make it anyway. She might as well just been resigned to the fact, get your voucher and go. It didn't happen. It did not happen. Unbelievable. So we finally land. We end up getting home roughly around 1:30 in the morning when we should have been home at 6 that afternoon. It was incredibly. This is why someone has to get control of this air. But you know what? Nobody ever will. You can't privatize it because it's so expensive. The government just can't run it. They just can't run it. Hey guys, thanks for watching the Zapata Brand Podcast Boxing Edition. If you could, please hit that like and subscribe button. Share it if you can too. It only helps our channel grow. Thanks again.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand Podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.